No, I don't want to be part of this. This is a funny little fucking revenge thing. I'm just here to go to Spa.
We're going to a creepy house in a minute, but I thought I'd drop by to this house over here. This nice house over here. You can see it over there, look. The door there, the light on. Yeah, that's Beardo's house.
According to that guy, debunkers are toxic, drama, nasty. That guy that filmed my house and sent it to his mates. Beardo's with us, boys and ghouls. How are you all doing? No debunking today. You could say it's a bit of drama. It will be by the time these clowns kick off. So, I saw a post on YouTube the other day, and boy did it make me chuckle. This Sunday night, I'll be going live with Haunted the Truth to talk deeply about the paranormal. Cool. This platform is not focusing enough on it, and it's really annoying that a skeptical mind has taken over. It's annoying that skeptical minds have taken over... What? Something that's mostly pseudoscience? So you don't want people to take it seriously? And unnecessary drama replaces the interest. Right, so unnecessary drama has replaced the interest, has it? So why are you talking about that instead of ghosts? Why do something that's doing the thing you're accusing people of doing? And as for this whole, the skeptical mind has taken over, like it's a bad thing, are you thick? And I recently covered this on a Facebook post, so it's just easier for me to read my own post, to be fair. But we do have a Beardo Gets Scared Facebook page if you want to go and check that out. I also have a new website, beardogetscared.com, and I'll explain that website in a second. Won't I, Mark? One of the most bizarre statements I've read recently is skeptics have ruined the paranormal. No, they bloody well haven't. And here's what's really ruined the paranormal in no particular order. Bad evidence, overacting, faking, people shouting, did you hear that, when their own coat rustles. And the big one, believing absolutely everything is paranormal and silencing critics is bad for the paranormal. And more closed-minded than skeptics looking at all possibilities, real world or otherwise. Because people are just not understanding the skeptical mind. The skeptical mind is open to all possibilities. Ghosts, real world. You just look at the evidence provided to you. Skepticism is not the villain. We are more like cleaners after a party, where the ectoplasm smells suspiciously like monster and lies. I thought that line was really clever when I wrote it, and now I'm reading it, it's fucking awful. Anyway, people who claim skeptics are ruining the paranormal are just pissed off the skeptics did what their SB7 spirit box couldn't. Provided a clear answer. Zing. That was a good line. But it's also true. People are running all sorts of equipment, claiming it as proof and evidence, and it's proof and evidence of nothing other than that device is activated for very normal reasons most of the time. Paranormal hasn't been ruined by us asking questions, it was ruined by people refusing to answer the same questions. Paranormal has absolutely been ruined by, dude, bro, did you see that? Yeah, after you've turned your camera and there's nothing there. Wire pulls, masking techniques, overlaid sounds, all of that nonsense. That is what's ruined the paranormal. People not questioning anything has ruined the paranormal. If something is genuinely paranormal, then skepticism doesn't destroy it. It bolsters it. If something is genuinely paranormal, it should survive being poked, prodded, tested and questioned. Filmed in 4K. No proof of wire or string. Shouldn't rely on devices and apps proven not to prove a damn thing. A skeptic saying, well, it isn't the fridge or heating or the plumbing should help the case, not dismantle it. But if checking the fridge and the plumbing collapses the case, then it wasn't bloody paranormal in the first place. Rule out everything normal first. Not be so closed-minded as to just assume it's a ghost or a spirit and not Brenda dropping her guts. Brenda next door dropping her guts. Skepticism ruined the paranormal is an excuse for your DR60 being shit. Your Class A EVP is your stomach growling. The shadow figure moves the exact same way as your cameraman. The poltergeist only plays up in 720p. Your REM pod goes off when you key your radio. Your ghost app says murder in a house where a murder never took place. But of course, you have to invent a story based off a random word generator. Skepticism isn't saying nothing paranormal exists. It's saying it's not paranormal. It's saying it's not paranormal just because you jumped and shouted, dude, bro, did you hear that? If your paranormal claim doesn't hold up to scrutiny, then you never had a paranormal claim. You had a monetized campfire tale. So, I watch a channel called Friday Night House, or Friday House, and he recently had Mark on his podcast. And I could see the same people in the comment section saying, why are debunkers only covering the large channels? And I've already proved that we don't. And then the same person is like, you need to watch this channel, what they call City Boys. And I looked, and it's like, this is just the Boys Mark II. I don't cover the boys because the boys are not making paranormal videos. They're comedians masquerading around in a paranormal video. And I've watched some of Dub Daddy's other stuff, and he's like, yeah, skeptics are welcome to look at us, and we like to see how wrong they get things. He's not claimed it's real. He's like, yeah, they can look all they want. It's fun. Now, unnecessary drama replaces the interest. Now, I get it. I absolutely get it. They have a point. They had a point. Because these pay are not exactly free of drama 24/7 now, are they? Now, I am going to be dropping some absolute nuclear bombs on these pay and the people they surround themselves with. Mostly because I have kept my mouth shut for so long about the nasty shit these people are doing. And then they've got the cheek to go out there and say debunking is just toxic and this and that and the other. Now, they name certain debunkers, Kenny Biddle and a few others, as good skeptics, good debunkers. They omit other people because we name call. Well, when you do this for as long as I have, and people are claiming to be real and doing really horrendous things to defend their fakery, and we are going to get to that mark, I warned you when you first pulled you were shit. That I'll keep my mouth shut after I called the police. Leave me alone, I leave you alone. I've been told how obsessed you are with me from your side, and you keep picking and picking and picking. So, this is Mark from Haunted the Truth. Now, in my opinion, I have caught him and his cronies faking. Now, they keep banging on about this poltergeist house that they can't release the details of. I've been reliably informed by people that have worked with them that it's a family member of one of the team. It's a family home. But that's just somebody telling me that somebody that apparently doesn't like them. But they're all buddy and chums again now, which is strange. So, Mark took some serious issues with me. Initially because I wouldn't shout him out. And then when I looked at his channel, I saw people shunting tables and claiming he was a ghost. I saw a K2 meter spin and fall off a banister. And then I learned that one of them... Sorry, this is Mad Mark. And then you got Chris. Chris is a magician, works in a magician's shop. They've both tried to butter me up, then they've turned, then they've tried to butter me up, then they've turned, depending on which side of whose bed they've woke up on. But young Mark here took things a step further, because they were posting like these little shorts, taking shots at debunkers. I think it was meant to be funny, but it was in a week where everyone was coming at me, and I'm like, really? Do you think this helps just because I've shouted you out? Why are debunkers full of hate and loathing and all this cack? He didn't take it so well, and I'm like, well, if you're going to talk shit, I'm going to defend shit. So Mark couldn't get over that, tried to argue with me. I let it go, I let it go, I let it go, and then I get sent a video.
No, I don't want to be part of this. This is no funny little fucking revenge thing. I'm just here to go to Spar.
We're going to a creepy house in a minute, but I thought I'd drop by to this house over here. This nice house over here. You can see it over there, look. The door there, the light on. Yeah, that's Beardo's house.
Book by a guy called Jay's Mixed Bag, he had 3 or 4 different YouTube channels. They were sort of horror and debunking related. Then he was back into ghosts, and then he quits every couple of weeks because his channel doesn't grow. He complained once that he never got any help, even though I did help him. Well, he sent me a video, and the video was Mark from Haunted Truth and the guy that's no longer Haunted the Truth, sat on the roundabout opposite my home, giggling to themselves in a car or a van. And the bigger guy says, I want no part in this. And then Mark says, I want no part in your revenge. Mark turns around and films my house and says, that one there with the lights on, that's Beardo's house. And then he sends it in WhatsApp messages to people. These guys that don't want drama and think debunking is toxic and all of that, one of them was outside of my house filming it and sending it to his mates. Now, I have friends that were friends with these guys at that time, and they saw it. It was sent to a number of people. Jay sent it to me like, you need to put a stop to this, and I did the following. I called the old Bill. The old Bill said it's not a crime, and I said, right, fine. I'm going to go and live stream, sat outside his house, demand him come out there, and I'm going to confront him. And then the police were like, you can't do that. I was like, if he can turn up to my house and film himself, then I can do the same thing to him, but I'll do it publicly. But the police warned me if I was to do something like that, it's too aggressive and whatever. And I'm like, well, he did it. What's the difference? And I would have done it. I'm not scared of little rats like that will do something like that and risk me and my family's safety. I know there are other people on the internet, like Proven Demons, saying that they know where I live because somebody gave them my address. Was that you, Mark? Now, I also want it to be noted that this dude here, Chris, Project Frightnight, I want to show you something here. He is a very, very good editor. Very, very good editor. Look at this. Amazing. Amazing. I mean, there's little ticks. Things have moved and all of this. Where he's... yeah. But, you know, this isn't him claiming this is paranormal. This is him using both editing skills that he's very good at. Editing skills on his magician's tricks to make a fantastic introduction. He's done really well with it. The same mistakes that are in that video that shows what it is happened on another video. See, he had a video called Ghosts. Ghosts Part 1 and Ghosts Part 2. And the video went missing while I was looking into it. There's a video with a guy stood on a bridge and he does the following. A stone land, the camera's here, the stone does this. But he says the stone came from over there. And make sure he gets his finger in shot. It's quite hard to get your finger in shot. And I did something very specific there. It came from over there. Because he threw it with his right hand. Not Chris. I don't think it was Chris. I can't remember who was the cameraman. And the video's not there anymore. And then that happens. People that have worked with these guys have come out and said, yep, they faked things. And if they want to argue this, absolutely fine, because I've got more that I will be releasing should they continue down this route of shit-talking and borderline harassment. The things that I have seen from these guys behind the scenes, borderline bullying some people, and then when people clap back at them, Mark does the, oh, it's my ADHD. Stop using ADHD as an excuse for being a substandard, badly behaved, poor excuse for a human being. You're a nasty piece of work, and you can deny being a nasty piece of work as much as you want, but you are the only person that has ever turned up to my house, filmed my house, and then sent it to your friends. Now, I made Mark a promise that I would never take this any further. I'd never release this to public as long as it stopped, and it stopped then. This was quite some time ago. Then Mark comes into a live stream, apologises to me, apologises to my wife, and then says, look, can we have a discussion about it? And I was like, yeah, sure, fine. And then my wife said, don't have a discussion with him. The way he's behaved is absolutely appalling. Don't give him the time of day because you're just going to get lied to. You're going to lose your rag. He'll clip it. I was like, yeah, fair point. Why should I give the time of day to somebody that filmed my house and sent that footage to his mates to have a laugh, while one of his mates is really uncomfortable saying, I want no part in your revenge? And friends of mine are friends with this dude and think he's harmless. I don't think that's harmless. I think that's fucking disgusting. I wish I could tell you how I really feel, but it would be against the terms of service, especially when the police went, oh, he hasn't technically broke any laws, but if you do it... I was fucking raging. Back to Frightnight Project. Chris, that same video, Ghost 2, there are stones being thrown in a place called Chirk Mills. Is it Chirk Mills? Whatever. Every time they go there, stones are thrown. Other people I know have gone there, never had a stone be thrown. So, is it just these guys being targeted by some stone-throwing demon, or is it them throwing stones? Well, having people that have gone out to these mills with them, whilst never actually seeing them throw the stones always came from the direction of Chris. I didn't want to put this out there, I didn't want to go at them, but they keep fucking picking. Now, also, I've seen Chris. He's a fantastic editor and a magician. I have seen him look at clips on live streams and go, oh, I can recreate that. And then he recreates it and leaves the people he was sat with all like, how did you do that so fast? How did you do this? Because he's very good at editing a magician's tricks. And that's what any video that he features in, that's what's going on. In my opinion, that magician and those editing tricks is what's going on in every video he is part of. Now, back in the day, I thought Mark was the magician and he's not, so whatever. Chris has messaged me a couple of times when he was trying to stick his tongue up my asshole, and he was like, I'm not a magician, I just work in a magician's shop and I know some basics and blah, 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 blah. But then I look at that introduction, that one there. Oof. looks like magic to me. So Mad Mark, the dickhead that was filming my house, he was on the Friday Night podcast, Friday House podcast, and he said the following. This debunker's good, that debunker's good, the other debunker's good, but when you start calling people names, when you start being toxic, nobody should be covering the same channel over and over again. Once you've done them once, leave them alone, otherwise you're a bully. And you and your circle of friends have been attempting to bully Bristol Paranormal Hunters for months now. And it was weird that it only started when I worked with them and not you. I worked with them and suddenly they were up my ass, they were tonguing my asshole. You were the guys messaging me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. Please come and work with us. Please give us a voice. Please let us speak. But Mark's on this stream and he says, I can't say who told me and I can't show any proof, so it's just words. But I know that debunkers are being paid. Certain debunkers are being paid to let channels get away with stuff. But he named almost every debunker except me and Mike from Real Evidence, which is like, are you suggesting that I'm getting paid by somebody to turn a blind eye? To what? Because fuck all goes on. In fact, Bristol Paranormal Hunters sent me a video of a noise at a location. They were like, can you tell us what this is before we say something stupid? And I went, I've heard that noise before, and I think it's a backed up toilet, because I've heard that exact sound at another location where the toilet was broke. You're in an abandoned place. And they were like, They checked the sound I captured against what they captured, and they were like, that's absolutely a backed up toilet. That's why they have my respect. Because they didn't film they haven't paid me off. They're not buying my affection. I've given them streaming equipment and helped them set up their OBS and stuff. They've bought me some gifts because of the friendship I've provided. Friendship that doesn't involve YouTube and the paranormal. Just guys meeting up and having a laugh most of the time, because we've met up more away from YouTube and the paranormal than we have for YouTube and the paranormal. We just get along. They're not buying me and they're not paying me. It's just called friendship. That's how friendships work. You guys wouldn't understand it because didn't you all fall out not so long ago? I mean, you fell out with Jay because you treated Jay like shit, but now he's back in the fold and suddenly he hates everything again. And then he deleted his channel and then he came back. Wasn't it you guys that told me that Jay did a social experiment where he made out that his daughter was being harassed and bullied online because of his channel? And then when he was outed for it, by you guys, I think, he was like, oh yeah, it was a social experiment. It never really happened, it was a social experiment. And then he cleaned his channel, turned it in, but then blamed everyone else, including, well, you guys. And now you're all friends now. And this is the biggest problem that you lot have got, is every time you all fall out, you start coming to me, telling tales about each other, and they did this, they did that, Jay's a fucking liar. You have the bollocks, or the stupidity, to say that skepticism is ruining the paranormal, and drama is ruining the paranormal, where behind the scenes, you cannot stop causing drama. You can't keep yourselves from slating debunkers or other channels because you don't grow. And this is going to be really fucking harsh. The reason you don't grow, Marks especially, is because you're a weird little fucker. You just say the most bizarre things, you behave like a fucking know-it-all, you fucking wobble in your head like you've got a fact to prove about everything, you can call out anyone you want, but the second somebody calls you up on it, oh yeah, they're bullies. Fucking bullies. If I was a bully, I'd have turned up your house, fuck the police. Straight out of Compton. For people claiming bullying and for people claiming drama, you are full of both of those things. You have been relentlessly harassing Bristol Paranormal Hunters, even when they have had their family members get terminal health diagnoses. You still kept on at them. Even with the health conditions that Sean has had recently, you still kept on at them. You still keep going live, you still keep talking about them, and we are fully aware that there was a small group of trolls that were all your mates, that were in my live stream and the Bristol Paranormal stream, saying the most horrendous things. They were your mates. How do I know? Because one of them emailed me directly, wishing me a heart attack because I'm a fat bastard. Drama, toxic, and nastiness coming from the skeptics, is it? How about the guys that bullshit their way through videos and fake everything, turning up and filming somebody's house, relentlessly bullying a small channel who's outgrown you because they're not dickheads, turning on each other constantly, and attempting to insert the tongue into one's bottom, your tongue, my bottom, and then when I don't fall for it, Suddenly I'm horrible again. I've been sat on this crap for nearly 2 years now. That's how long I've been sat on this. Now, I didn't say anything, not out of fear, but because I knew what you were doing. You kept picking at me, you keep picking at Bristol, you keep picking at other people. You will sing the praises of some and then chop down others, purely for me to react like this, because when I react negatively to you, you get views, because at the moment, both of your channels are in the toilet. But if you're going to talk about truth in the paranormal, if you're going to talk about toxicity and drama in the paranormal, you need to be honest. So I've shed light on it, like I always do. I've put a big beam of light on you right now, haven't I? One of you, or two of you, turned up to my property, my home, where my family live, and filmed my property, and then sent that to your mates. And one of your mates was so disgusted with it that he sent it to me and was like, you need to put a stop to this. That same person, you guys then told me, made up shit about his daughter. And then he caned his channel. I'll never know the full truth behind anything you guys do and say, because you're all liars. You're all liars and you're all manipulators, much like every other faker in the paranormal. Future Beardo, yeah, sorry, there's going to be a couple of these interspersed in the videos. I forgot to mention on the first recording that the last time I went to the Ancient Ramin with the Side-Eye Guy, Mythos and Dandalf, we went to write in the book to leave your experience like I did the time before, and under Haunted the Truth's entry into the book in the same handwriting with the same pen was my full name and my full address for all to see. So he's doxed me at the location and he's filmed my house. I'm the bully and I'm the bad man, eh? And your jealous streak over Bristol paranormal hunters and my friendship is fucking laughable. I ain't seen this shit since I left school. Oh my god, he's friends with him. I hate him now. I wanted to be his friend. You want the truth in the paranormal? I've just given you truth by the bucket load. Now, don't go giving hate, don't go giving them negativity, don't go doing all of that, because they'll just cry and say, look what Beardo did. They'll skirt around and ignore the fact that they have relentlessly, over the last 2 years, just turned up in live streams and shit-talked me. And then they try to make friends with me, and then they turn on me, and I'm like, I've been ignoring you for the most part, just fucking go away. I do apologise, it was only whilst editing I realised I said we're going to cover this bit, and then I didn't do it. The reason that I bought a website and a domain is because when Mark was filming my house, he was also bragging to his mates that he was attempting to buy the domain of Beardo Gets Scared, meaning that if he'd bought it, my channel could no longer be called Beardo Gets Scared. He tried to buy that domain in an effort to basically take my channel away from me. I had to go out then and spend nearly £300 to get a website and the domain registered in my name to stop him taking it from me. And then they don't go away, and then they start this. There's a new campaign against certain debunkers, but they can't say the name, and certain things that are going on behind the scenes, but they can't say who. I can see where it's going. So I'm going to put a stop to it now. You filmed my house. You leaked it to your friends. You're a fucking scumbag. And all of you that were laughing about it are scumbags. And all of you helping these trolls go into people's live streams and derail live streams are scumbags. Problem with the paranormal isn't skepticism and it isn't drama. The problem with the paranormal is assholes like you. So do please let me know what your thoughts are down in the conversation down below. Try not to be overly nasty or anything, because one of them will just claim it's his autism that did it. I know plenty of people with autism. None of them do the shit you do. And don't give them the excuse to act like victims when what they have done is far fucking worse. They have made Bristol paranormal hunters' life a nightmare, where I've had Sean on the phone to me in tears like, I'm just going to delete my channel, it's not worth the stress. And I'm like, don't you fucking dare. They're only doing this to you because you're growing and they are not. It's fucking horrendous. They are bullies. Textbook bullies. They keep doing things. They get asked to stop. They keep doing things. They get asked to stop. They are the definition of bullies. And like true bullies, they wouldn't last 3 seconds around any of the people they are trying to bully. But they'll sure as shit run off and say, look what they did to me. I've been bullied. I never ever want to cover your fucking awful channels ever again. Not your awful channels. You both have elements to what you do that are pretty good. Mark does seem to love the paranormal when he's not faking it. Chris is a very, very good editor. But that doesn't excuse all of the rest of it and the fact that there is fakery in your videos. And let's not forget, the poltergeist house that you can't release the details for. I mean, apart from the accents giving it away, is in the area that you live, because you've got a very specific Bristolian accent for a specific area. Take that aside, one of your friends, somebody that knows you well, told me that that is your family. I don't want to have to make a video like this again, but if people are going to keep picking, I will just keep firing back. And it's with nothing but truth, honesty, fact. If you don't like the truth, honesty, and facts that I've just thrown out there, don't behave that way in the first place.
If you can.
Really graceful.
So what was the story today?
What was that?
So what was the story today? So what was the story today?
Future Beardo, yeah? I couldn't just say, you know, Chris has been accused of faking. People have said that Chris has thrown stones on videos, so I have spent quite some time going through some friends of mine's footage. And I've questioned my friends about it, and they were like, we spotted it months later, didn't say anything to anyone, but we left it there in case somebody spotted it, because it's the truth. The truth is that when I've brightened the images and I've slowed those images down, Chris, that I have been told by numerous people throws stones, does the following. That one is 100%. The lady in front of him turns and looks, but it's him, and then he puts his hands in his pockets. The other clip, am I 100% that was him? No, but he's rifling about in his pockets. There's a reaction, and then he does this. It's borderline comical, like a kid getting caught. And I think it's because he assumed that whoever was pointing the camera at him had caught him, but it was put into the video. But it's made it into the video. The video hasn't been removed. I've asked the team that put the video out, and they were like, yeah, we noticed that a long time ago. We told you that there was proof out there. You've, congratulations, found that proof. Truly disgusting if you think about it. How skeptics are bad for the paranormal, how skeptics are evil, the skeptics are nasty, yet one of the people calling it out, one of the people that has been roasting fakers on other channels, has been faking all along. Now, these are not his videos. He's never made a video himself. He's only ever gone onto other people's channels. So he not only is a faker, but he goes onto other channels, hides his fakery, hopes they don't notice, and then if they get caught, well, that's down to the channel then, isn't it? No, it's down to him. And again, these guys don't like me because I said, I think they faked that at the Ancient Ramming. I think they faked that. I think that that's a family member's house. Well, who's behaving worse here? Me for questioning, or in some aspects, like these clips, catching you faking outright, and then you lie and defend and besmirch my name, and the other guy turning up, filming my home and laughing and sending it to his mates all jolly as shit. Now, it doesn't matter how many people he says he sent it to in the close circle of friends and that, because, well, 3 people had seen it, and it was sent to me twice. So clearly, it's been shared about. But what happens when you share it to those people and say, oh, don't share that, and then they do share it? And then people are online saying that they know where I live, they've been given my address. Makes you look guilty as shit. Now, can I prove that that was you? No. Will you even answer if that was you? I don't know. But if you do answer it, how is anybody ever going to believe anything you say? How can anybody trust or believe anybody that would turn up to somebody's private residence and film it for revenge? How can anybody trust somebody that screams and shouts and is like, the debunkers are evil, this is nasty, fakery is bad, yet you're throwing stones on a video? Haunted the truth, and anybody that associates with Chris is throwing stuff in your videos. Why is it always stones? Why are they always coming from his direction? And then you want to complain when you're called out. Proof is there. This isn't toxic, this is nasty, this is fact-finding. And the fact is, Chris is throwing things, and Mark is doxing me to his circle of friends, which could lead to further doxings. And then people are saying they know where my address is, they know where I live. So as well as that this was reported to the police when I first became aware of it, as well as me outing all of this, because this is the toxic, nasty side, not what I do, as well as all of that, I've gone to YouTube in regards to a creator turning up to my house to film it. I imagine what reputation you guys do have will be in tatters after this, and it's all been brought on by you. You didn't like me calling you out for fakery. We've never faked. He's never really caught us. Well, I have there. Your behaviour, Mark especially, after the fact, has been fucking horrendous. To be like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Beardo, we need to have a conversation. I go to give you the time of day. My wife says, don't you dare. I'm like, all right, fine. And you want to laugh and joke and revenge and all of that nonsense, while you don't bother me. Oh, if I was ever to catch anyone doing something like that in my house. Again, I'm not allowed to say it on YouTube because they would become the victim. Because stalking people, which is what Mark has been doing here, is criminal. What you haven't taken into account is when my wife saw this. What you haven't taken into account, that this, and then the proving demons, and then this rearing its head, it doesn't affect my mental health. You know full well about my wife's mental health problems, Mark, and you have still chosen, absolutely chosen, drive to my house and to film it and to mock and laugh and joke and share. Now, something that I wasn't ever going to use, but my wife wants me to say this. My daughter lives here. I mean, my daughter's half the size of any of you, and she could hold her own, trust me. But my daughter is, in fact, my stepdaughter. It's not something I've hidden. I don't like to refer to her as my stepdaughter because I find it a bit disrespectful to her. We have a very close relationship. But my stepdaughter's biological father, her real father, who she is very close with, is a police officer. He is a serving police officer with South Wales Police. And she is now going to make him aware of both cases of people either threatening to come to my house or actually turning up and filming my house. So while ringing the police and arguing with them on a telephone call hasn't done much, how do you think it'll pan out when a police officer takes umbrage with you scaring his daughter?